Associate Professor in Mahatma Gandhi Occupational Therapy College. Today I am presenting a lecture on splinting. Splinting, what we need actually in splinting equipment are stockinette. Splinting materials are plaster of Paris, strips of rolls 2, 3, 4, 6 inch widths, depend upon what area should need to be splinted. Prefabricated splint rolls, plaster, fiberglass with polypropylene padding, ace-rape, bucket, receptacle of warm water and trauma sheets. Length, measure out the dry splint at the extremity to be splinted. Remember, the plaster shrinks slightly when wet. If too long, the ends can be folded back. Use plaster width that is slightly greater than the diameter of the limb. It can be measured on the contralateral extremity to avoid excessive manipulation of the injured extremity. And the thickness is, upper extremity is 8 to 10 layers. When we make a splint of plaster of Paris, you should, in upper limb you need 8 to 10 layers, and in lower extremity you need 10 to 12 layers, because lower extremity is heavy as compared to upper extremity, and it has to maintain or bear the weight of upper extremity also. So general splinting procedure is basically stockinette is applied, then Webril is applied, the wet plaster is positioned, elastic bandages is applied, the plaster is modeled. Then measure and prepare the plaster, apply the stockinette so that it extends 2 to 3 inches beyond the plaster, and apply 2 to 3 layers of Webril over the area to be splinted. Be generous, avoid wrinkles, and place extra padding around the bony prominences, because when it will touch to the surface areas of any solid material, it will be stuck. Place Webril between digits that are going to be splinted to avoid maceration. Wet the plaster and place it over the area to be splinted. Submerge the pre-measured plaster in unused warm water. Remove the splint from the water and squeeze out the excess water and remove the wrinkles, so that the plaster should be very in a firm manner. Fold the ends of the stockinette over the plaster to smooth the edges of the splint, because when POP will be dry out, what will happen, it's a sharp edges, and you know it will be punch you anywhere you will stuck. Place a layer of Webril over the plaster. Apply the ace wrap around the splint to secure it in place. Unwrap the bandage without placing too much tension around the extremity while still wet. Hold the plaster to conform to the shape of the extremity. Use the palms of your hand rather than the fingers. Place the patient's extremity in the position desired. Keep the patient still until the splint has dried and hardened. Fast drying 5 to 8 minutes. Extra fast drying 2 to 4 minutes. After the splint has dried, check the splinted extremity for function, arterial pulse, capillary refill, temperature of skin and sensation. Upper extremity, long arm posterior splint, double sugar tongue splint, volar splint, sugar tongue splint, thumb spiker splint, ulnar gutter splint, and radial gutter splint and finger splints. So lower extremity splints are posterior knee splint, Jones compression dressing, posterior ankle splint, U splint and stirrup splints. Long arm posterior splint, where the longest independent splint is required is injuries of the elbow and proximal forearm. And construction is, it starts on the posterior aspect of posterior arm, down the ulnar aspect of arm, and ends at the metacarpophalangeal joints. Its application and positioning is cut hole in stockinette for thumb, elbow at 90 degrees, forearm neutral position with thumb, and neutral or slightly extended wrist 10 to 20 degrees. Indications are complex and unstable forearm and elbow fractures. Constructions are forearm splint from metacarpal heads on the dorsal hand around elbow to volar MCP joints, and arm splint from anterior proximal humerus around elbow to posterior arm to proximal humerus. Application or positioning, cut hole in the stockinette for thumb so that the thumb will be mobile, and you can Use your thumb while doing the activities of daily living. Elbow at 90 degrees. Forearm neutral with thumbs up, like this position. Slightly extended wrist 10 to 20 degrees. Now sugar tongue splint. Its indications are distal radius and ulnar fractures. Constructions are metacarpal heads on the dorsal hand around elbow to metacarpophalangeal joints. Application and positioning are cut hole in stockinette for thumb, elbow at 90 degrees, forearm neutral with thumb up, slightly extended wrist 10 to 20 degrees. Indications are injuries to scaphoid, lunate, thumb and first metacarpal, and then gamekeeper's thumb, De Quervain's tenosynovitis. Constructions are from just distal to the interphalangeal joint of thumb to mid forearm, like this position. Application and positioning are cut hole in stockinette for thumb, same like the previous splints, and forearm in neutral position with thumb in wine glass position. Indication: fractures and soft tissue injuries of 5th digit, fractures of the neck, shaft and base of 4th and 5th metacarpals. Constructions are start at mid forearm, runs along ulnar aspect of forearm to just beyond the DIP joint. It includes 4th and 5th digit. Okay, this one. And now application is forearm is in neutral position, slight wrist extension, PIP and DIP joints 10 to 15 degrees of flexion, 50 degrees of flexion of MCP joints. If boxer's fracture, MCP joint flexed to 90 degrees. Then radial gutter splint. Indications are fractures and soft tissue injuries of index and 3rd digits, fractures of neck shaft and base of 2nd and 3rd metacarpals. Construction starts at mid forearm down the radial aspect of forearm to just radial to the DIP joint of 2nd and 3rd digits. Application and positioning: cut hole in stockinette and plaster of the thumb, hand in position of function, forearm in neutral position, wrist slightly extended, MCP 50 degrees of flexion, PIP and DIP joints 5 to 10 degrees of flexion. Now finger splints for mallet finger. Indication is mallet finger only. Construction is splint only at the DIP joint. Application or positioning is splint DIP positioned in hyperextension, cannot be removed for 6 to 8 weeks. Jones compression dressing. Indications are short-term immobilization of soft tissue injuries of knee, not for injuries that require strict immobilization. Construction is febrile and A-strap from the groin to a few inches above the malleoli, 2 to 3 layers of febrile. Application is slight flexion of the knee. Posterior ankle splint. It is also called post mold. Indications are severe ankle sprains, fractures of distal fibula and tibia, reduced ankle dislocations, can add stirrup splints for unstable ankle fractures. Constructions are from plantar surface of the metatarsal heads to the level of fibular head posteriorly. Application and positioning: most easily applied in the prone position, ankle to 90 degrees. In U-up stirrup splints, indications are severe ankle sprains, ankles of distal fibula and tibia, reduced ankle dislocations, can be added to post mold for unstable ankle fractures. Constructions are passes under the plantar surface of foot and extends up medial and lateral sides of leg to just below level of fibular head. Application and positioning are most easily applied in the prone position, ankle to 90 degrees. If placed with post mold, place post mold first. Thank you.